So hi everybody, this is Hub and Giacomo, and today we're covering Lockheed Martin. This is one of the stocks that you asked me, so we'll get into it. We'll see what Wall Street thinks about it. We'll see the fundamentals, and then we'll see a blueprint of the long-term performance that Lockheed Martin had and what we can foresee for the future. So before we get into it, make sure to like, subscribe, and comment which stocks you want me to cover next, and I'll take them into consideration. So make sure to do that. I answer all your comments. So let's get into it. So Lockheed Martin is probably one of the biggest winners in 2022 because of the current geopolitical situation and the tension growing all over the place. And as we know, Lockheed Martin is one of the best suppliers for the defense of the United States and many other United States allies and the Western world. So we can see that Wall Street analysts right now have 50% of them have a buy recommendation, 43% are hold, and 6.7 are sell. So we see how the recommendations changed lately. So we see some of them have a hold, some of them a buy, and so on. So let's take a look at what happened this year. So over here we can see the latest ones. All right, the latest ones came from Credit Suisse and Morgan Stanley. Let's take a look. So okay, so we can see how the price target have changed along the way. Let's see Morgan Stanley. Okay, see the price targets. One thing to notice is that when it comes to the performance score, let's rank them by their performance score. So let's take, for example, the recommendation from Jeffries, which has the best performance score. So this performance score is given by the difference between the current price and the price target and how long it takes to get to the price target. So we can see that this price target has been met and so on. So we can see that she had pretty good recommendations for Lockheed Martin. Let's see the reasoning why she had a hold back in March. One of the other guys that I see that had good success was the guy from Baird. We can see that he had a neutral rating back in January. Of course, things changed quite a lot from there, but we can see the reasoning why he picked this recommendation. He saw the healthy buyback activity limiting the downside in the shares, coupled with an attractive valuation versus peers and so on. That's the reasoning why. He is pretty positive. He has increased, for example, the price target. So we can see that overall Wall Street is pretty positive about Lockheed Martin. We see some of the fundamentals of Lockheed Martin. You can see that it's part of the S&P 500, market cap $123 billion, income pretty incredible, price earning a bit high if we consider the interest rates rising and so on, but it looks like there's gonna be a strong need for all the products and services that Lockheed Martin provides. So that seems justified. You can see the earnings per share and so on. And so on. Okay, and then we see some of the news. The Wall Street Journal says defense companies still await boost from Pentagon's arming Ukraine, so on. So they could benefit from that, and so on. We can see that one director at Lockheed Martin bought more shares and so on. So everything looks pretty positive for Lockheed Martin. To give you a better perspective on Lockheed Martin, its track record, and where it could go in the future, let's head to my spreadsheet. So here we can see the revenue that Lockheed Martin had, and we can see that they have increased along the years, so pretty good. EBITDA on a constant growth, and we will probably see more of that in the near future. So of course the tailwinds are clearly there because there's going to be more need for the defense equipment because of Russia's actions and so on. All over the place we can see that a lot of countries are rearming in the Western world, from of course the US providing Ukraine with help, and then we see Poland investing quite a lot of their GDP into defense equipments, and we see Germany and so on. Another thing is, for example, Turkey, which has to accept Finland and Sweden into NATO. It looks like they want to negotiate their re-entering in the F-35 plan. So there could be good news for Lockheed Martin, and Lockheed Martin bottom line, maybe not for the countries neighboring Turkey, but as a shareholder of Lockheed Martin, you'll probably benefit from such a situation. One thing to notice is the geographical exposure of Lockheed Martin. So Lockheed Martin, out of the revenue that it generates 48 for the last year. It generated $48.6 billion from the United States, and then 6.7 from Europe, Asia Pacific 6.1 billion, Middle East 4.25, and others 1.3 billion. So it generates most of the revenue from rotary and mission systems, so everything from helicopters, ships, and so on. And then missiles and fire control 12.31 billion, and then space. Lockheed is also involved in NASA's missions and so on, so it generated $12.17 billion from space activities, and then aeronautics 26.96 billion. So all the F-35s and so on, all the warplanes that Lockheed Martin makes. So we can see market cap on constant growth, and we can see also enterprise value to EBITDA, which has grown quite a lot this year because of the expectations. Another thing we can see the shares. Lockheed Martin had prolonged program of buying back shares on the market, so that's beneficiary for so that's pretty good for the shareholders so that their value is not diluted. We can also see that the earnings per share have grown quite a lot in the last 10 years, and it looks like for the near future, Lockheed Martin is going to increase even more. And the dividend per share, also very good. In the last 10 years, Lockheed has more than doubled the dividend distributed to its shareholders, so that's pretty interesting and could be a very smart bet to do in this situation. We see that Wall Street is positive about it, so this is my overlook on Lockheed Martin. If you haven't done it yet, make sure to like, subscribe, and comment which stocks you want me to cover next. I'll answer to all your comments. And this is it for today. I'm Giacomo. This is Hustle Hub. See you next time.